Hi, this is Hazel Marie and welcome to my craft room. Today I have a project share that I would like to tell you how I made it and hopefully will inspire you to make one and or um, to make something similar. Um, I was inspired by Ooh La La Vintage Treasures. Now, on that particular video, uh, these pots actually come off and flowers were stored inside and they were wrapped in a doily. And that was the premise of the ones that were made. Now, it was actually taller and went higher, but mine is not going to be removable, and my flowers, it's not going to be for storage. It is going to be permanently affixed, as you'll see here in just a few minutes. Now, what I used was a metal candle holder, and I bought this at a resale shop. And I did not pay much for it, probably $2 or $3. And it has the 3 cups, 2 on the side and 1 in the middle. And it has like a 1/4 inch surround or bottom on them. And these little peat pots fit actually right in there perfectly. Now, you do not have to use a peat pot. And I don't even know if everyone knows what one is, but I'll explain it to you. They are paper containers, and they look like a little pot, and they're made out of paper. And what you do with them, or what they're made for, is to fill with soil and either put a plant inside or seeds and cover them up and mash them down, then put them into the garden, and then the plant will start to grow, and eventually the pot will kind of fall apart and it will disintegrate and go back into the soil and enrich it. So as crafters, just about everything is good. I mean, you can find something to do with it. So someone came up with using peat pots in crafting. Now, I'm going to tell you, I think, an easier way to do this than I actually did it. Because I asked myself during the process, now wouldn't that have been a little bit easier if I had not affixed them to the little cup? When I say a little cup, it's a lip going around. And I thought, I think it would have been. So anyway, what I did first, and this is just assuming I did it the way that I thought was better, okay? I took the peat pot and I took some acrylic paint, and let's see if I can get it here. It's Cream Coat by Delta, and it's white. And I put it in a little container and added water, watered it down, and then I kind of whitewashed the pots because they were brown. And then I washed, I don't know why, I painted a little bit down inside because all of this is permanent. So you don't need to do that, just the outside if you do it like this. And so I whitewashed it. And then the next thing that I did was and I can't take it out to show you, so I'll turn it around. Now, the next thing that I did was I affixed these pieces of applique. Probably it would be easier if I point to this one. This applique, a wedding applique, and I cut my applique apart so I could have the big piece in the center and then 2 small pieces coming up to the side, because otherwise they would have come up to here. That wouldn't have worked very well. So you cut them to where they fit whatever it is. Now, if you don't have an applique, you can use pieces of trim braid. You can use pearls, whatever else you have that you want to use. And so I did that on all three of, uh, of the pieces. And then what I did, oops, let's get this back in frame here. Let's pull it back a little bit. I took a doily and I put the doily over the top, making sure that it was the same amount all the way around, and I glued it in, you know, in so many places so that it would stay tight and right where it should be. Now, before I put this on, I cut a hole in the center of my doily, and that was so that I could put the stem down into the doily. And so after I glued that on and it had dried, all three, I took my my rose, and you can use any kind of flower that you want, whatever your favorite is, any color. And I glued around the bottom of my rose, and I stuck it on here and on each one, and now they are permanently affixed. The next thing that I did, and was, I'm trying to think here, I added the front piece. What I did was I added a large flower in the back. I don't know if you can see that. You can see right here. There, I'm going the right direction. How about me? Well, right over here. And I did a flower over, no, over, here. And then I put a doily. And then, you turn it back around, I put a metal piece of bling here. It's silver. And in the middle of it, I put a piece of beautiful, it's pearl and rhinestone bling. Now, I purchased those on the internet. I also purchased the silver piece on the internet, and actually, the doilies and the flowers were all purchased on the internet. I did not purchase these on the internet. So then I had all of this together, and what I did was I glued around the bottom of the pot, put some glue in the middle of this little lip, and I set it into the lip that goes around. Now, always make sure that you decide which way is going to be your front, and so that each time that you put one in, they all face frontwards. Now, mine is actually a little loose here, and I forgot to tighten it again. That's what I did yesterday. I forgot to tighten it, and I put a little piece of, you can't see from there, and I've taken it off, but I put a little piece of paper right there. And that way it always told me which was my front side and which was my back side. Because when you're working from the back side, sometimes, and I did get a little confused because the applique, I was going, oh, okay, this is the front. I wasn't paying attention. So I had to rip it off and do it over. So you don't want to do that. Now, the next thing that I did was I added this piece of dangle trim. In the actual video, I did not put dangle trim. But remember, I'm telling you the way that I should have done it. And so what I did was I cut off the top of the dangle trim because it was too tall. And I cut it down, and starting in the back, you always start in the back for any newbies, just to make sure, and newbies is not a bad word, because one day, years ago, I was a newbie, I guess. And so I glued them at the same height all the way around on all three. I had glued it in, then I glued this on. And so that's how I did that. Then, scooting it back here, I decided that I needed to do something here at the bottom. So I took a doily and I cut it up the middle, to the middle, cut a little bit out of the middle, and I put it around here. And then I just kind of tacked it with glue here and there so it would not move or anything. And excuse me just a moment. Get my allergies again. Oh, excuse me. The next thing I did was I made a little, just like you were going to make a flower with a running stitch, which you just take a length of lace and you just do a running stitch with your needle and thread, and then you draw it up. Well, instead of connecting mine together like you would if it were a flower, I put it around and then I tightened it up and I made a knot in the back. And then I kind of made it go around to where it was gathered all the way around. Now the top piece here is another doily, and let me see if you can see that. See the white? That's going to be the third piece. And it was a little white doily, just like these up here. I'm trying to point at this one. And I cut it like if it were here. I just cut it into the middle, and then I cut out a little piece, and I put it around. Then I added pearls so that the edge would not be shown. Then I made a bow with a triple I guess you'd call it triple piece of ribbon. It has 3 pieces on it, and left my tails kind of long, and I put a white flower there. I thought we had enough pink, and I decided that just the little pink ribbon here would be just perfect. And so I glued that there, and that's how I made this beautiful, I think it's quite beautiful, piece. Now, if you did want to store flowers in yours, instead of making this glued down, you would take it and you would just wrap it around, kind of like a Tussie Mussy. You would have your round, let me get around here. You would have your round doily, and you would gather up some flowers, and you would put it around there, and kind of like make a cone, and then you would put it inside. Then you could take it out, and you could use the different flowers. Now, if you go over to Ooh La La Vintage Treasures, you can see how that one was made and what I'm talking about. And I think that was all. The only thing that I did mention yesterday to everyone is here on these doilies, because they have connectors, each time you see one of those little pieces that go in, they have a little piece that sticks out. And I made sure that mine were all trimmed. So you do want to make sure that they're all trimmed. And that is my, let's see if I can remember that, Shabby Chic Roses altered candle holder. And I hope it inspired you. I hope you liked it. I love the dangles that hang down. I just love the whole thing. And it's going on to my Shabby Chic bookcase, or my cabinet, I guess, that I'm so proud of. And it's going to go over there and make up part of my Shabby Chic candy station. So thank you for stopping by, and I hope you really like this project. I enjoyed making it, and if you do make one, PM me a private message and send me a photo. I'd love to see it. So take care. I love you guys. God bless. Bye bye.